What's going on, preppers? Welcome back to the channel. Epic Prepper here. The saga continues from gas shortages to gas protests to now truckers protesting. Now, we've been talking about truckers and this whole supply chain game, this whole supply chain debacle that we've been dealing with over the last, 24 months or so. But now truckers are taking some action. Now, we've talked about a number of different truckers that have decided to just pretty much hang it up. I was communicating with a trucker not too long ago who was indicating that he had been in the industry for many, many years, and he is saying that more and more of the newer truckers that are entering the industry are literally they're selling their trucks. They're listing their trucks and they're just selling it. They're getting out the game, getting out of the industry. Big companies like Walmart, Target, COSTCO, they have excess inventory. They're not trying to pay what they've used to pay for freight delivery, because it's essentially a losing game for them. Retailers are in many cases just simply saying, hey, keep the item, here's your refund. It's not worth the cost of restocking the product, taking additional losses, corporate losses. Balance sheets are getting hit. Well, guess what? Truckers are taking action here. And it looks like a lot of truckers in California are having big plans starting next week. Oakland truckers are vowing similar protests on Monday against the independent contractor law. Now, I'm not really sure if you guys had caught my previous video. We talked about this. We were expecting something big coming out of California. I don't know if this is it or if this is just, one of many things to come. But some California truckers who move containers in and out of the marine terminals at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach say that they have plans to participate in a work stoppage on Wednesday. So there's a date set. Things are happening. This is to protest the controversial state law. This law, AB5, this is what they're calling it, AB5, that seeks to limit the use of the independent contractors and largely classify them as employee drivers. Now, this is impacting this is impacting the owners of trucks that don't necessarily drive their own trucks, because essentially these trucking companies would purchase the trucks and hire drivers to make these deliveries. The drivers wouldn't necessarily be employees. Now, some people who work for Publix or Walmart directly, I think Walmart does have its own trucks. JB Hunt, they're another big trucking company. Amazon, a lot of these companies have employees that drive the trucks. But there's a number of trucking companies, they're not employees, they're just contractors. And this is going to severely hamper the trucking industry, because it essentially forces, unless there's a workaround, it forces these trucking companies to hire these contractors as employees, start providing them with 401k benefits, sick leave, vacation time, and all sorts of other costly healthcare benefits, all sorts of other costly expenses that they wouldn't normally otherwise have to incur. Now, June 28th, the United States Supreme Court refused to hear the California Trucking Association's challenge to the AB5. And this is returning the case to the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. One owner-operator who plans to participate in the port protests says that he doesn't want to become an employee driver. He prefers to remain an independent contractor. And then that's the other thing. That's the other side of the game. So as an employee, you have very limited ability to create businesses, to have business expenses. As an employee, you're kind of disadvantaged from a tax standpoint. And so a lot of independent contractors, they're going to fight tooth and nail just as hard as the trucking companies want to fight tooth and nail to prevent this from happening, to prevent having to hire and bring on employees. They want to keep them as contractors, and contractors, they don't want to be employees any more than the owners of the businesses. So So one owner operator who plans to participate in the port protest said he doesn't want to become an employee driver, preferring to remain an independent contractor. Quote, during the pandemic, we were too busy being essential to realize we were about to be screwed by AB5. This comes from one California trucker who didn't want to be named for fear of fear of retaliation. Gordon Raymer, manager of the Southern California FHE Express, says that many of the 75 owner-operators that his company uses to move freight to and from the ports of Southern California plan to participate in Wednesday's protest. He also notified that the trucking company's customers should be expecting potential freight delays because of the protest. Now, how long is this protest going to be? They're saying they're going to do this on Wednesday. Now, could this be just a one-day event? Is this going to drag out into weeks and months? That has yet to be seen. We do know that a tremendous amount of freight does come out of California. And if this thing picks up steam, this could become huge, and more freight, more and more truck operators and trucking companies could join the bandwagon and expand this potential protest. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on this. Quote here, this will be an inconvenience to us and to our customers, but I understand the frustration among independent owner-operators who feel this is the only way to bring attention to their plight. As being a former owner-operator myself, how can I blame these drivers who now find out that their dream is being snatched away, much like a lot of Americans' dreams are being snatched away? They're saying that, how can I blame these drivers who are now finding out that their dream is being snatched away from them because they're based here in the state of California? And so it's not affecting all states, but California, not looking very good. Philip Sandfield, director of the media relations for the Port of Los Angeles, said that they have heard some social media reports about the planned protests, but they don't have any other information. He says that they're monitoring the situation, just like we are. Now, ongoing legal challenges prevented the AB5 from going into effect back in January of 2020. The law stems from the California Supreme Court's decision against Dynamex Operations West Incorporated, which is a package and document delivery company. The court found that the Dynamex had misclassified its delivery drivers as independent contractors rather than employees, and that all California-based employees that use the independent contractors must follow the ABC test, which is a three-pronged test to determine whether or not a worker is an employee or not. It says that the B prong, defined as an independent contractor, so you're a 1099 worker who is engaged in work that is outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business. This is problematic for motor carriers utilizing independent owner operators to move freight. So like I said, guys, it's unclear to the extent that this is going to impact supplies, our supply chain, and how long this protest is going to last. But stay tuned. Additional updates to come. You guys keep prepping. You guys stay prepared. I'm out.